Morning, good afternoon in Asia. My name is Fernando Lit, and I'm a researcher at the Circular Plastics Network for Training. Today, I'll talk to you about my 9 months, more or less, experience so far working on this project. So, a little bit about myself. I did a bachelor's in chemical engineering, and then when I graduated, I worked for a few years in process engineering. After a few years of working, I thought I wanted to do a master in industrial management. So I did an Erasmus Mundus master's. And after finishing that master's, I decided to do a PhD as part of the Sea Planet project. How did I learn about Sea Planet? A friend told me about the opening, and then I thought it would be an interesting job because it combined parts of the things I'd studied before, a bit of chemical engineering for the plastics aspect of the project, and then some management and circular economy aspects, which I am personally interested in. But I also saw that this job was on the Euraxis portal. So if you're really searching for Marie Curie Innovative Training Network, you really have to check there every now and then. So what do I think is special about Sea Planet? One thing is that we have a huge network of academic and non-academic partners scattered all over Europe under the Sea Planet umbrella. So you really get to connect with many companies and universities. And then we're also a huge team of multidisciplinary researchers, and we help each other really gain a broad experience and understanding of the circular economy for plastics. So this is a team of 15 people with really different backgrounds, from chemistry to chemical engineering to political science to marketing, and you learn from everyone. Another good thing about the project is that just in my research project, I'm already affiliated automatically with three institutions. So Eindhoven University of Technology is my home university, but I also will be working for some time with Dow Chemical Company and Ghent University. Then the one really nice feature as well is there's a lot of network training events, which are basically conferences organized by the Sea Planet Network, distributed over the 3-year period. So there will be 7 training events, and we were supposed to be in these different countries at each training event, but because of COVID, we had to do it online. But when things settle down, we will be traveling every time to attend these conferences. And then the Sea Planet project also has a wide social impact, so our outputs will all be open access, and we don't just do scientific publications. We also have a lot of opportunities to disseminate knowledge outside the scientific community. So, for example, we're planning to write a children's book and translate it to different languages from the efforts of all of our ESRs. And then some more personal points. I think that you also get access to a pretty good standard of living in European cities, which comes as a bonus for doing an MSCA ITN. These are some pictures I took. The ones on top were taken from or outside my where I'm living, and then the pictures below are of my office building. Yeah. And then, of course, because you're in Europe, you also get to travel to a lot of places. Well, maybe more after COVID, but Europe is really well connected and doesn't have a lot of barriers to traveling. Well, before COVID happened, so it will be easy to visit places and learn more about history here, see cities that you normally wouldn't have thought of going to. So that's a nice bonus. And now, how did I approach the application? Well, I asked myself 2 important questions. The first one is, how does my background fit into this position? Will my current knowledge and skills help me succeed in the role? And then the second question is, what do I want to do after the PhD? Does the PhD help me get closer to a future I would like for myself? So after asking those questions, I kept them at the back of my mind, and my answers to those questions would be reflected in my motivation letters, my interviews. And my advice for interested candidates would then be to treat the PhD application as you would any other job application. In my case, I'm actually I have a contract with the university, and I'm considered an employee of the university and not a student. So I really had to go through the process. And even when I left the Philippines, I had to leave as an overseas worker and not as a student. So I had a different kind of visa. Also, tailor your application documents to the position you're applying to and highlight your strengths and motivations. So in my case, they published everything on the website, the kinds of skills that they wanted you to have, the kind of interests and experience. So there were a lot of requirements, but just like any other job, you don't have to check all of those boxes, but you have to show that even though you're not checking those boxes, you can still perform well. So in my case, they said, for example, that I needed to be proficient in mixed methods or qualitative methods. But I told them I only had experience of doing that one time in the masters. But then I managed to explain to them some concepts that I learned in applying these methods, and they were convinced. And then finally, even though there's no guarantee of being selected, approach each step of the process with confidence and just enjoy it. In the end, every job application is a journey, and you learn more about yourself, and I think you get better and better the more times you try. That's it. Thank you.